4, 3, 2, 1.
David.
Good to see you, Peyton.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for coming in here and
Absolutely.
and being the first podcast since the pandemic. So
Honored.
hopefully we're not too rusty, but I think it's been since late February or early March since we did our last one, and so it's good to kind of get back in the swing of things. It has felt this week, and I really started to feel it last week, that business is starting to kind of pick up, and
Absolutely.
people are just getting back into more of a routine.
Yep.
And wanting to get more on track.
Sure.
So it's good to see that. And so your wife, yes?
Yep.
I went to high school with Jacqueline.
Yep.
And played soccer with her brother, Josh. And now you work with a mutual friend, Peter Gohausen. He got us in touch. And pretty exciting to hear what you guys are doing and seeing you expand your family business. And wanted to have you on to talk a little bit more about yourself and the business and what you guys are doing. So you are the Senior VP of Sales at BioStar Renewables.
Yep, exactly.
And what do you guys do?
We are a renewable energy developer. So we partner with commercial and industrial businesses as well as municipalities and non-for-profit organizations across the country and help them develop energy projects. So started off more in the renewable space, more utility scale space, big projects. And we actually started with a technology that we purchased in 2005, which basically takes manure and turns it into a food grade organic fertilizer.
Wow.
And we take those waste streams from anaerobic digesters. We also are able to clean the water as a part of that. So we oftentimes are partnering with farmers and we deliver them back clean, safe water that they can use for irrigation or to give to the animals, whatever it may be. So from there, kind of followed the renewable energy industry, and we like to say we try to be on the leading edge, not the bleeding edge. But that's led us into the solar and energy storage space, as well as the energy efficiency space. So partnering with C&I customers mostly to go and retrofit their buildings and find energy savings.
Yeah.
We always say reduce and then produce. So get your buildings as efficient as you can first. That's the place to start. And then go and look at a renewable energy solution to sort of attack whatever consumption is left.
Yeah, I was looking at your guys' website, and you could just keep scrolling all the different energy options you have, whether it's like HVAC to solar to manure. Is your guys' goal to cover every type of energy source?
Good question. So we say we're technology agnostic. So, we do a lot of different things because of our energy efficiency business. When we go in and look at a building or a set of buildings, we try to really take a holistic approach. So at the end of the day, you're looking at major mechanical, you're looking at how can we put automation in this building to make it smarter and drive savings from that. You're looking at lighting, you're looking at water consumption. So a lot of different things. We are not a churn and burn HVAC contractor. We are more of a traditional energy services company, really, from the standpoint that we go and find customers and help them identify 4, 5, 10 different ways to save. And then ultimately they really choose, which solutions they adopt. And we're able to wrap that into one financial package for them.
Are you guys manufacturing any of these?
Nope. We don't manufacture anything. Think more parts and smarts. We help develop projects. And then, we buy a lot of major equipment direct from manufacturers. But we don't manufacture anything. We do have a couple of process patents in our organic fertilizer business. So in that business, we do, I guess, technically manufacture fertilizer.
Okay.
But we take chicken manure, turn it into fertilizer.
Wow. Yeah, it seems that. So I was watching a Bill Gates documentary. It's like 3 parts. I don't know if you've seen that, but he wants to tackle the waste sewage system problem in third world countries, and
Sure.
they developed a machine that's about the size of a semi-truck,
Okay.
and they could put raw sewage manure into it, and on the other end, literally has Bill Gates is turning a faucet and it's clear water and he drinks out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I feel like we're on the cusp of that kind of technology, and hopefully that will solve a lot of the world issues that we're having. What are you guys seeing in comparison to that?
Absolutely. Well, waste to energy is a huge, huge part of our future, we believe, and part of our current day too. We operate 3 plants right now that take waste streams, so either manure, or we have a plant that's being built in California that takes diverted food waste that's been diverted from landfills.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting there making renewable gas with that and making our fertilizer and clean water products. So cities in particular are facing a huge issue with landfills right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to permit new landfills, and the landfills are filling up. So they're trying to figure out what do we do with this waste. So not just in Africa. In Africa, they have a water accessibility issue, but even here in the United States, we have a huge issue different from theirs in that we produce so much waste, and what do we do with it, and how do we get to a sustainable solution that will let us go another 10 or 20 decades into the future.
Is there a sustainable solution right now?
It's going to be we've definitely got our work cut out for us. So, I mean, I think what you're seeing and what our process does is, we're having to utilize all these different things: clean water, organic fertilizer, the gas that we create in order to finance these projects. But certainly as technology evolves and as we're able to gain greater efficiencies in what we do, then that becomes more scalable. So right now, these waste to energy plants are being permitted and built, but they're quite expensive, and you have to really know what you're doing. They're $50 to $100 million investments.
Wow. How did you get your start in this industry?
Yeah, so in 2005, my stepfather, Bill Love, who's our CEO, he purchased a business that basically was filing and working on a couple of patents that takes anaerobic digester waste streams from anaerobic digesters and converts that into this fertilizer.
What are anaerobic digesters?
Yeah, so anaerobic digesters, think about a semi-truck basically standing straight up.
Okay.
And you take a waste stream, like it could be food waste, like our project in California, but our original projects were with farmers. So you want to have that digester right next to where the manure is.
Okay.
And you're filling that thing up with manure, and it's a lovely thing to envision.
Yeah.
Getting it really hot.
Okay.
Stirring it around in a big tank, and anaerobic digestion. That process is creating a biogas by doing that. So you're drawing methane biogas out of the bottom, and you're creating a renewable natural gas.
Okay.
So those digesters are generally very expensive to build, and the ones that exist currently are all, for the most part, on farms, or there are landfill digesters. There's a couple of different applications. So we got into that business, basically partnered with a guy who was working on patenting this technology, and we were awarded our process patents just a couple of years ago. Actually, it took, I think, every bit of 15 years to get that. But our fertilizer product is OMRI certified. That's the certification agency for organic products, and so organic farmers can use it. Back in 2005, we really thought that the gas was more valuable. We could have never predicted that the organic food industry would explode the way that it has. Mm-hmm. So back then, we were thinking about it really just in terms of fruits and vegetables. Now, with people growing organic corn and organic wheat, there's a much bigger market for our product, which is really exciting.
Interesting. So how long have you been in the industry?
So I graduated from Indiana University in 2013, moved out to D.C. to be a big bad bureaucrat, and I quickly realized that my roots in capitalism weren't going to let that last. So I was working on the Hill, really enjoyed it, but wanted to make more money and wanted to start and finish something and then start and finish something else, and you just don't get to do that in politics. So Anyways, I won't go down that lane.
No,
but
it's a whole. Yeah.
but no, I caught, the LED lighting business really caught my attention. The time there were a couple of really good manufacturers that were starting to generate products that were actually affordable for commercial application. So we decided to enter that industry and go after some low-hanging fruit. We bought a company in 2014 and brought it under the BioStar umbrella and really started transforming that into an energy services business. So, we're just hearing from customers, hey, we need help with our HVAC, or I want to control the lights, but I also want to control my air conditioning units, and I want to save money on my water bill. So we really wanted to be a more holistic solution. And so what's really cool about that is that a lot of the customers who were not good opportunities for solar in 2014, 15, 16, and on are now becoming, as efficiencies continue to evolve, becoming good customers. So we're able to go back to a lot of energy efficiency customers we've worked with and offer renewable solutions that pencil now but didn't pencil 5 or 6 years ago.
Interesting. It seems like the energy business can be pretty volatile and it can be trending up or down. I remember working downtown. This was 2013, 2014, and Sungevity moved right across the street, and there was all this buzz and excitement.
Sure. They hired a big staff.
A couple hundred.
Yeah.
And they laid them off just as quickly about a year later.
Yep.
And they just were like, we couldn't get quite the contracts that we needed to, and that they were putting their solar panels on houses and then using the energy companies or the utilities companies' infrastructure, their boxes. So it wasn't even their equipment. They were just kind of cheating essentially. So it seems like there's a lot of red tape, and it seems like depending on what is going on socioeconomically, it can really affect if someone's really into solar this year, or someone's really into methane gas over this other gas, or So, what is do you see that?
Yeah, it's kind of twofold. There's the legislative side, and then there's the ESG side now. And so the environmental, social governance buzzwords are, sustainability, ESG, are buzzing stronger than ever right now in the business community. And you're starting to see people like Larry Fink at BlackRock write letters that say, hey, if you're making the returns that we ask for, but you're not doing something that's good for the world, that's not good enough. You have to be focusing on sustainability and ESG. So there's that side of it, which frankly has driven our business and our industry a lot faster than I thought it would. And then there's the legislative side, kind of back to the red tape, where in order for us to enter a market, we have to really, really examine that market and really understand it, because every state is completely different. And so, New Jersey has a program, for example, that offers 15-year contracted revenue if you build a solar field. It's much easier to finance projects in New Jersey, as you might imagine, than it is in Kansas, that offers no such program, not 1 year, no tax credit, nothing, which is fine. But, back to your example of Sungevity, I think it was, the residential market, in my opinion, it's pretty simple. They entered a market that wasn't ready for solar. The energy rates in the Midwest are pretty reasonable. So for you to come in and build these systems and make any sort of spread on the energy is a lot tougher when you're paying 8 cents a kilowatt hour in Kansas City. Versus, in California, you might pay 18. It might be 2 to 3 times as much. So I just don't think the market was ready for the residential side. And frankly, the market here isn't really ready for the commercial side either. We don't really do any renewable energy projects in our backyard, unfortunately. We travel to California and New Jersey, and we have a current portfolio of about 40 solar sites that range from Hawaii to California to New Jersey. So COVID has certainly affected our business from the standpoint of we're not traveling as much. We're learning to do things virtually. The asset management component has been done virtually anyways. So that was actually fairly easy to adapt to. But I'm really in the sales role. So I like, getting on planes and shaking hands and meeting people in person. But have learned to adapt to this
Yeah.
COVID world.
So obviously with COVID, I think everybody's had to adjust just
Sure.
in communication and whether it's clients or just, yeah, I think it's just mostly communication. How has it affected you guys from a financial side or how you guys have had to pivot?
Sure. So we go to market in our solar business with an investment tax credit partner, an ITC partner. So the solar industry, currently you get a 26% federal tax credit on solar projects. We have a Fortune 500 partner that we bring into the market, and they bring tax equity for schools or even for-profit businesses who don't want to monetize that credit. That is probably financially the way we've been impacted the most. They're in the food production business, and so it was pretty hard, tough couple of months there with plants running 50% and people getting sick. And so one thing that happened in the solar market as a whole that really has impacted the marketplace is that all these investment tax credit lenders have basically backed out of deals and said, we've got to go on hold. So that definitely has had a big effect. You've seen a lot of projects come across your desk. Hey, we lost our tax credit investor. Can you help? And so we're actually really excited that, we believe it may not be the year we had planned for, but the economy and production is starting to pick up faster than we had originally expected. I mean, a couple of months ago, I thought we maybe wouldn't be in the place we are today as far as the pace of the economy picking up until, August, September. So we've learned a lot, obviously, but I think that is how it's impacted the industry the most. Is there's actually a good time to go out and find value in projects that are hurting for tax equity investors. So that's been kind of interesting for us, and we view it really as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Some of our projects we had to put on hold or slow down a little bit.
Yep.
But really, in the big picture, viewed as an opportunity to go out and gain net new business.
Love that attitude. That's great. Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot. Everybody was in the middle of closing a project or working on a project, and it kind of slowed down. So
Yep.
it's good that to hear that you guys are positive about creating new projects and keep on moving forward. Lastly, what are you most excited about in the next 2 to 5 years with the business?
Yeah, on-site generation of your own power is becoming more and more feasible every day. So when I say on-site, just like it sounds, throwing solar panels on your roof, creating your own electricity, and becoming less reliant on the grid, basically. And so that's really exciting for us. The battery storage market has a way to go yet, but the problem with solar has always been you're only as good as the sun, right? And so if the sun's not shining, you're not producing. And we work with a lot of manufacturing businesses who run 3 shifts and 24/7, and their electrical consumption is the exact same at 3 o'clock in the morning as it is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you have to be able to come up with some sort of cogeneration or storage solution for that type of customer. Right. And I think 5 years from now, that market has grown exponentially from where it is now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you want to share about BioStar, or maybe you guys have any hiring opportunities, anything like that?
Our team is definitely growing. We've added a lot of positions in the last couple of years. We are always looking for smart analysts who are interested in being in the energy space. But no, I don't think so. I think we've covered a lot of ground, and I really appreciate you bringing me on to the show. And it's great to see you and catch up a little bit.
You got it. And if someone wants to reach out to you, what's the best way?
Yeah, give me a call or shoot me an email. Do I put my phone number on here?
No. How about LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, yeah.
LinkedIn.
I'm on LinkedIn. You can
Awesome.
find me.
And we'll put those things in the description there. But
That'd be
David,
great.
thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed it.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Cool. That was great.
Awesome.